Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Saur Darkchylde, and welcome back to Let's Replay Ace Attorney Investigations. Last time, we just completed the second half of the first case, found out that the prosecutor that kicked us out of our office was actually the murderer of the first case. As for why he did it, and why he was in his Edgeworth's office, he would not say. Every time they came out to the topic, he remained silent. But that'll be a topic cleared in a later case, as we are about to go back in time to 2 days ago, before the events of the first case happened. In the second episode of this series, Turnabout Airlines. Let's see what happens in this one. The murderer took it. Oh wait, the dialogue is going fast. Dang it, I hate when it does that. The return of the great thief Yadagarasu. Thinking back, everything began that fateful day 2 days ago. 2 days earlier. Yes, everything began high up in the air, 9,000 feet in the air to be precise. Thank you for flying iFly Airlines. We are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. We are asking all passengers to please return to their seats and fasten their seatbelts. March 12th, 2019, 6:13 a.m. Flight I-390, first floor lounge. Ugh. Why do I feel like I just woke up from a horrible nightmare? $6:13, huh? Guess I was out cold for about 10 minutes. Huh, slight turbulence indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. For your safety, we ask that you return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts. I suppose turbulence is to be expected on a flight. Though admittedly, I am less than comfortable with anything resembling earthquakes. What's this? A travel wallet? But it's not mine. How did someone else's travel wallet wind up in my pocket? My head. Why won't this turbulent headache go away? I'll take care of this travel wallet later, or hand it off to an attendant. Ugh. From earthquake-like turbulence to an elevator. What am I doing hesitating like this? Actually, I know full well why I hesitate. It was when I was but a young child. I was caught up in a murder that happened in an elevator. anyone who remembers the episode that happened in the original trilogy of Phoenix Wright, please let me know with a like in the comments. But how long am I going to let my past haunt me? It's just an elevator. I'm a grown man now. I need to behave like one. What the? What in the world happened? Is there something wrong, sir? I must ask that you please return to your seat. Hey! He's dead! Please, calm down. We mustn't jump to conclusions without all the facts. What's wrong? Did something happen? You murderer! What? No! You have it all wrong! It wasn't me! Everyone, I am sorry to interrupt, but I have an important announcement. I am one of your flight attendants today. Rhoda Tenero. Unfortunately, we have just had a minor accident on this flight. An accident? Don't treat us like we're stupid. I caught a glimpse of it. It was a murder! What? Murder? What's going on with this flight? Everyone, please calm down. There's no reason to panic. The flight will stay on course and make its scheduled landing. We are still currently in the middle of a rough patch of turbulence. So until we are out of this area of turbulence, I ask that you please remain seated. But someone was killed, right? I mean, what about the killer? Let me off! Please, there is no need to feel threatened. We have already apprehended the culprit. I ask that everyone please remain calm. What the heck is he talking about? Why should we remain calm? My name is Miles Edgeworth. I am a prosecutor, and I assure you, I am not the killer. Ha! Being a prosecutor doesn't make you incapable of murder, buddy! Now, you listen here. I am not the killer. I simply found the body! So you say. However, I'm sure that you are the perpetrator of this crime. I swear on my honor as a professional flight attendant. Oh, is that right? I know what I saw. And there's even very strong incriminating evidence to back me up. What kind of incriminating evidence is she talking about? We've already alerted the proper authorities at our destination. Until we land, you will remain in our custody by the powers vested in our captain. I'm very sorry, but please understand our situation. Your situation? I'm more concerned with mine, and the direction it's going in. I'm not about to just sit idly by while I'm accused of murder. Miss Tenero, is it? Yes. I was wondering if you might give me a chance. A chance? To do what? A chance to plead my case. And a chance to ask what you meant by incriminating evidence just now. To accuse a passenger of such a grave crime without allowing him to give a proper defense. Can the professional flight attendant inside of you really call this action righteous?
You have a point. Very well. I'll listen to what you have to say. But be wary of what you reveal. I'm afraid you'll only look even more suspicious if your explanation fails to satisfy. I also do not have the time to deal with you all day, so make it quick.
Of course, as you wish.
Good. Well then, let's get started.
I know for a fact that I didn't kill that man in the elevator. What I don't know is what sort of evidence she has up her sleeve. But I'm certain it doesn't fit with how the crime really occurred. What Miss Tenero saw.
I swear to tell the whole truth as professional flight attendant. Unfortunately for you, Mr. Edgeworth, I am certain you are the killer. The scene I saw in front of the elevator. It was you, standing there, with fresh blood dripping off the murder weapon. So, if you would please cooperate, we'll turn you over as soon as we land.
That's it? That's her evidence?
I don't think you could ask for a more perfect witness testimony. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Edgeworth?
Not really. It's hardly perfect when there's a gaping hole in it.
I swear to tell the whole truth as a professional flight attendant.
Hold it!
Tell me, what exactly puts the pro in professional flight attendant for you?
Well, it means we are very professional about how we take care of our passengers. Services like fetching papers and responding to calls are done with the speed and accuracy. I can assure you that I give testimonies with the same level of professionalism. But I'm sure you have already realized that by now, right?
It's a bit hard to appreciate your professionalism when I'm the one under suspicion.
And there you have it. My professional testimony is accurate and reliable. Unfortunately for you, Mr. Edgeworth, I am certain you are the killer.
Hold it!
You certainly seem sure of yourself.
Of course. A professional flight attendant can't afford to make any mistakes, after all.
Perhaps, but you must admit there are a few who can look at a murder with a clear mind.
We attendants all go through extensive training and are always calm and collective. We'll even calmly serve you coffee, if you so wish, as the plane makes a splashdown.
I fail to see how that would be the calm and rational thing to do in an emergency.
Even until the bitter end, we are there to serve the passengers. That is the duty of all professional flight attendants.
You certainly are confident. Anyway, shall we return to your testimony?
The scene. I saw it in the front of the elevator.
Hold it!
Yes. What did you see in front of the elevator?
That's what I was just about to tell you, Mr. Edgeworth. Framed by the elevator's doors and bathed in the light coming from within, it was you, standing there with fresh blood dripping off the murder weapon.
Objection!
Miss Tenero.
What is with us yelling all of a sudden?
Force a habit. Well, it doesn't matter. Miss Tenero. You say you saw the murder weapon dripping with blood. Is that correct?
Yes. All that blood. Drip, drip, drip. Just recalling that scene sends a chill down my spine.
Sorry, but your so-called professional flight attendant training has failed you.
What?
I'd like to direct your attention to this. Do you know what this is?
It's a travel wallet, right? But it looks a little big and bulky.
The thing you saw me holding when I discovered the dead body in the elevator was this very travel wallet, Miss Tenero.
What? Impossible!
Now then, do you still think I am the killer? That I killed him with a travel wallet?
I saw blood dripping from the wallet. I know I did.
As you can see, this wallet is clearly stained. But if you would be so kind as to take a whiff, I think you'd agree it's only grape juice.
Then...
That's right. You mistook grape juice for blood. The murder weapon dripping with blood does not, in fact, exist.
No!
There. That should clear up that pesky accusation.
Wait just a second. That is... I mean, even a wallet could be deadly if it was wrapped around on something heavy. I demand that you show me what's inside, please.
She's trembling. And the tacked on please at the end sounds like I've got her. There's no need to look inside. Even you can tell from its appearance that it's light.
No, I can't be sure of anything until I see the contents of that wallet for myself.
She's a persistent one. I suppose we have no choice but to see what's inside. Miss Tenero, if you would be so kind as to open the wallet and check its contents for me.
Alright. I usually don't pry into passengers' belongings, but we have no choice here.
It seems that this passport is all that's in here. As you saw, there is nothing but a passport inside. That renders your wallet as the murder weapon argument moot. Wouldn't you agree?
Please, hear me out, Mr. Edgeworth.
What is it now?
Well, I was wondering, whose passport is it exactly? Can I take a look?
Why not? I'm rather curious myself. This is...
Just as I thought. This travel wallet belonged to Mr. Akabe Hicks, which makes it the victim's property. You stole the victim's wallet, didn't you?
How dare you!
You said it yourself. You claimed to be holding this wallet in your hands when I found you. Perhaps I did misconstrue the wallet for the murder weapon. But it seems that I wasn't wrong about who the culprit is.
Mr. Tenaro's logic.
As you claim, the murder weapon is not the travel wallet. However, it is something you stole from Mr. Hicks after you were done with the vile deed. I find it hard to believe myself, but your motive was very simple. You were out to steal Mr. Hicks' money, weren't you?
So even though I didn't have the murder weapon on me, you still suspect me, I see.
You stood up at the crime scene when the victim's wallet in your hands. How could I turn a blind eye and not suspect you of foul play? As you claim, the murder weapon is not the travel wallet.
Shouldn't that be proof enough that I did not murder the victim?
Not at all.
Oh, and why not?
Because that wallet may not have been what I thought it was. However, it is something you stole from Mr. Hicks after you were done with the vile deed.
You think I stole it?
Yes, I'm very sorry to say it, but I wouldn't usually be so rude, but it must be said. I never thought I'd see the day, but here I am calling a passenger a thief. Maybe I should put on a serious face and say it more directly. I believe you removed the wallet from the victim's personage.
It really doesn't matter how you phrase it. What I'd like to know is why you think I stole Mr. Hicks' wallet.
I find it hard to believe myself, but your motive is very simple.
I don't think I have any sort of motive to speak. I've never met Mr. Hicks before, and our only connection is this one flight.
But that is more than enough of a reason.
How do you figure?
He was sitting in first class, and I think the implication is quite clear. You were out to steal Mr. Hicks' money, weren't you?
Objection!
I wonder if I might get a word in, Miss Tenero.
What is it now?
Miss Tenero, I wonder if you noticed the contradiction within your own testimony?
What are you talking about?
It's simply impossible that the motive for this murder was monetary theft. One glance at the crime scene should have told you that. What about this scene would prove that the motive for the murder was not the money? If I may direct your attention to the things strewn all over the floor.
Ah!
That's right. The floor is covered in bills and coinage. By your rationale, these were the very things the killer was after.
Ah!
I think we can assume that the wallet fell during the victim's struggle with the killer. And I would think that the killer would have noticed something like money scattering everywhere. Furthermore, as you can see, there was no effort made by the killer to gather the money.
But the wallet...
Yes, the wallet. You will also recall that the only thing in it was Mr. Hicks' passport.
Ah,
If you are really insinuating that it was a crime based on greed, then you're claiming that it was all for an empty travel wallet.
Forgive me! Please!
Hey, what the heck? Are you saying that the attendant's wrong? So that guy isn't the killer?
Heh, I don't believe it. Don't believe it, everyone. It's a trick!
Will you all please be quiet? Miss Tenero,
Yes?
you lost your cool when you saw the dead body. Plus, the lounge was dark, and looking into the light from the elevator, it's easy to see how you mistook the wallet in my hand for the murder weapon. I took no offense that you thought that I was the killer.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Thank you for releasing me. What is it now? Miss Tenero, if you could please translate, I'd be much obliged.
It sounds like Borginian, but I don't understand any of it. There's another attendant on this flight who...
I said he is given the roundabout. I don't require an interpreter. I speak English just well, see? You, the attendant.
Yes, sir?
I want this person to be under the arrest until we arrive at the airport.
I'm sorry, sir, but what exactly are you hoping for?
What is it you want? I am finished talking to the likes of you.
Please, I would like to hear why you would like me to be held under arrest until we land.
You, how dare you try to waste my time?
You were the one who stuck your nose into my affairs.
I wanted to spend at least one more second with my precious art. I have no time for other things. I know what you are. I see through you. Insolvent. Yes, I am pretty sure that's how you say it in English.
Well, I'd hope that I don't dissolve into water, but I don't think that's what you meant. I'm sorry, but I don't think I caught your name.
I am Zek Bebek II, and I am a very wealthy man in Virginia. But I am not an ordinary rich man. I am an art dealer, a rich seller of beauty.
Mr. LeBlanc, what did you mean just now?
Pardon?
When you said that Mr. Edgeworth was giving me the roundabout.
I have to explain? Unbelievable! Oh, I will say it just once and only once. I do not have even a second to waste. Time is money, as they say.
Yes, and yet you continue to blather on.
I saw it. Yes, I did. I saw the victim go into the elevator. Going down to the lounge. It was exactly at 6 o'clock.
And what's the significance of that time?
At 6, he says.
Wait, you saw him at 6?
What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth?
He understands, I see. Mrs. Hendon, what time did you discover the body?
Well, it was a little after that patch of turbulence, so I would say around 6:15.
Hicks was his name, was it? Then I say that man Hicks was killed in the 15 minutes time span. And the only person in the lounge at that time was this prosecutor, yes? Yeah, I was in my seat the whole time.
Me too. I was watching the movie and enjoying a fine glass of grape juice.
I was still eating. Still haven't finished, see? The other passengers have an alibi, so you have no problem with them, I suppose? No complaint, I see. Not a single word against this, right?
I have no way of discounting what you have put forth at this point, but it wasn't me.
Oh, so you say. But do you have what you say, the evidence?
Mr. Edgeworth, are you really the culprit after all?
Mr. LeBlanc, I suppose you are quite certain in what you saw. Enough to give testimony?
Of course! I was looking at that man the whole time! He was playing with that annoying little, small machine the whole time!
Machine?
Yes, that's what you people call it in English, yes? It was making me crazy with the click, click, click!
From that description, it sounds like some sort of small computer.
I believe what Mr. LeBlanc is talking about is a cell phone. I have to say that I did see him playing with it quite a bit myself.
A simple cell phone. A laptop or organizer I can see, but that's kind of low budget.
I hate that noisy little machine in his hand. Not a fragment of beauty. All it produces is ugly sounds. Anyway, I know what I saw.
Miss Tenero,
Yes?
I was wondering if I might be granted permission to examine the crime scene.
What? You want to examine the crime scene?
If you would grant me a little measure of time, I am sure I can produce the real culprit.
I don't like the sound of that. Fox in the duck pen. Yes, I think that is how you say it in English.
It's fox guarding the hen house. and I believe my innocence was proven earlier. And if I'm given a chance, I can clear up all the remaining doubts. Miss De Niro, if you wait until we arrive, there is a good chance that some evidence will have been destroyed by then.
I understand. Let me see what the captain has to say.
Ha! This should not be approved.
Please, Mr. LeBlanc, in an emergency, all decisions are to be made by the captain alone. Now please, wait here while I go ask the captain what to do. I'll be right back.
You are not planning to erase evidence when you are doing your investigation, yes?
Of course not.
Ha! We will see.
Mr. Edgeworth, you have the captain's permission to investigate the crime scene.
What? Unbelievable!
I am in your debt, Miss De Niro.
However, there is one condition. I am to supervise you. Can you agree to that?
Of course. I see no problem with that stipulation. It's only natural that I am still a suspect in this case.
I take full responsibility and will watch Mr. Edgeworth's every move. I hope this is reassurance enough that there will be no foul play. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, shall we proceed? If you should need my help with anything, please feel free to touch the partner button.
It's time to head to the scene of the crime, the first floor lounge. I want to thank you for your help back there, Miss De Niro.
It was nothing. You should thank the captain for granting you permission. And just so everything is perfectly clear, I still don't trust you to that extent. I don't want you to think your standing with me has changed.
I see. I will bear that in mind.
I received an order from the captain earlier. He wanted you to know that we received the right to stop your investigation if we feel you are not making progress. And when we do, he asked that you please return to your seat at that time.
So my time runs out when his and his crew's decisions? Doesn't it? I have to find a way to discredit Miss LeBlanc's testimony before time's up. I understand. By the way, is there any place that you can think of where the killer might have hid aboard?
I don't think so. After every first-class passenger was accounted for at his or her seat, we made a thorough search of the plane. As for business and economy classes, no one can move between those two classes and first classes without a staff key card. And we found no record of a key card being used at all.
Which means that I have the first-class killer on my hands. At least I know that much for sure. And one other thing. No one else has been allowed near the crime scene since the murder was discovered either. Now then, let's get started.
But where should we start it from?
Let's start with Mr. LeBlanc's statement. The crime occurred between 6 and 6:15 a.m. During that initial interval, the only person in the lounge was myself, which would make me the prime suspect. However, since I did not kill Mr. Hicks, that means that the killer was aboard somewhere.
If we are to believe what you say is true, then yes.
The first order of business will be to gather information to win your trust. What floors does this elevator have?
Only the first and second floor, although it can also go down to the cargo hold. However, that requires a flight crew keycard.
So the only floors accessible to passengers are the first and second floor, huh? I won't rest until I inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Money is strewn all over the floor of the elevator. I would guess that it was all in Mr. Hicks' wallet at some point. What's this sinister-looking figure on the floor here?
Oh, that's a piggy bank from our company mascot, Mr. Fly. I Fly. It's just one of those many pieces of merchandise we sell in our in-flight shop. This bank is a limited edition, and it's so popular that we're down to our last one.
You have an in-flight shop?
Yes. It's just beyond the lounge, to the right. The shutter to the store is closed at the moment. But it was open the whole flight up until Mr. Hicks' body was discovered.
There's blood on here. Could this have been the murder weapon?
I need to examine that.
Oh, I can't. Okay. I'll put a pin in that for later. There's something sticking out of his pocket. Hope you won't mind if I take a look at what's inside. It's a picture. It looks like it was taken inside the building somewhere. I doubt anyone was expecting to find a dead body in an elevator on this flight.
So, Mr. Hicks, he's really dead?
Yes. She's trembling, although I can't fault her for that when there's a corpse right there.
Mr. Hicks, if you're really dead, please answer yes.
I see she's over the trembling now, although a new symptom seems to have appeared. Anyway, I should focus on the victim's body. Let's see. There's blood on the back of Mr. Hicks' head. Could it be the cause of death? It appears he has been struck very hard. Even his glasses are broken. I wonder what was hanging off of his lanyard. Something missing from this picture. Now, if I could just put my finger on it. We know what it is. This is the spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold. Mr. Hicks' machine is nowhere to be found.
His machine?
Ahem. His cell phone, Miss Tenero.
So I guess it's because it's not there here?
Yes, I think we can safely deduce that the killer took it.
Let's see. I think so far we examined everything we can inside the elevator. Now for out of the elevator.
There's some spilled grape juice in front of the elevator. I assumed it was spilled during the turbulence.
Oh, we must clean that up or someone might get hurt.
Aha!
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I found some very important evidence.
Take that!
What is that?
They're a little smudged, but I think we can both agree that they're a set of footprints.
So you think...
Yes, these belong to our killer.
Oh, then maybe we should check the shoe size of everyone in first class?
I don't think that will be of any help to us. Unfortunately, the prints are too smudged, which will make it hard to get a definite match.
Oh, I see.
Now then, let's do some logic here. Logic time.
We have... Let's see, our logic pieces are... Where is the killer? Elevator. Spilled grape juice. Murder weapon, Mr. Eyefly. Broken glasses, and blunt force trauma. Okay. Let's try where's the killer? And elevator. Hope I'm right here.
True, there wasn't anyone else in the lounge other than myself right before the turbulence. But if the killer was in the elevator along with the victim, then that's a different story.
Okay. Now then, blunt force trauma and the item there.
A statue with blood on it lying next to the body of a man who was beaten to death.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I think I figured something out.
Yes, what is it?
The way the blood is on this It looks like it matches up with the wound on the back of his head.
Well, aren't we deserving of the Master of the Obvious title?
Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Don't you think that's worth investigating?
It would appear that this figurine is our murder weapon.
Oh, I just knew it. I mean, I can't think of any other connection.
Perhaps Master of the Obvious would be more befitting.
Let's see. All we have left now are broken glasses, spilled grape juice, and in the elevator with Hicks. Let's see. Doop.
I have it!
Sorry, but I don't understand, Mr. Edgeworth.
I can prove that someone other than myself was here around the time of the murder.
What? Really?
Yes. It's rather simple, actually. The proof is in the pudding, or rather, the grape juice in this case. These footprints here confess to me this very fact. That someone exited the elevator alive. Seeing as how the victim is dead, that would mean a second person.
But couldn't the footprints be from Mr. Hicks himself?
Ah, but if you take a closer look at our victim's shoes, you can see the soles are spotless.
Which means...
Mr. Hicks wasn't alone in the elevator. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There was actually one other person inside the elevator. What's going on over there?
Unforgivable! This is unforgivable! Do you understand what I am saying? The movie is late! It is the same level of bad as if the plane arrived late!
But the movie...
What? I will not talk to you! Who anymore? You are just wasting my time!
What is the matter, Mr. LeBlanc? If there is no emergency, please return to your seat, sir.
Do not tell me what to do! I need not to sit down! Well, Mr. Prosecutor, did you prove you are innocent yet?
If you would like, I would like to prove my innocence to you right now.
What nonsense! Are you saying my eyewitness testimony is mistaken?
Not mistaken, merely that there is room for doubt. I'd be most honored if you could please tell me what you saw in detail once more.
Fine, suit yourself!
What I saw.
I am certain I saw Mr. X enter that elevator. It was when that needles on my pocket watch pointed at the 6 and the 12. The body was discovered 15 minutes after that in the lounge, yes? Then you, the only person in the lounge at the time, must be the criminal!
Mr. LeBlanc's conclusions seem to make logical sense. After all, the only person in the lounge at the supposed time of the murder was me.
So So, my eyewitness testimony. If you think you can destroy it, then come, let me see. I do not like a man who is having the time to wait for you.
Why is he so irritated? I am the one accused of murder here. Anyway, I must find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's account now, and fast.
Here we go, the rebuttal. I am certain that Mr. Hicks entered that elevator.
Mr. LeBlanc, were you able to get a good look at the inside of the elevator at that time?
Of course I saw what was inside.
And are you sure that the victim was in the elevator alone?
Yes! Yes, the only person inside that elevator was Mr. Hicks man.
That last outburst is a bit too important to let go.
The only person inside that elevator was Mr. Hicks.
Oh yeah?
Objection!
Mr. LeBlanc,
What is it?
there is a very glaring contradiction in your testimony.
What do you mean?
Please, take a look at the area in front of the elevator. There, at the spilled grape juice.
Yes, and? Will you admit you also spilled it with the blood?
No, it spilled itself during the turbulence. But in the interesting thing here is the set of grape juice footprints.
Footprints?
Yes, the ones that lead from within the elevator out into the lounge itself. It's evidence that prove that someone other than Mr. Hicks exited the elevator alive.
Ugh!
There must have been another person in the elevator with Mr. Hicks. Now then, and I'm done playing games. Why don't you tell me the truth?
Can you please translate for us? No way. That's totally impossible. I guess is what he said.
No way! That's totally impossible! I know there was no other person in there. I saw with my own eyes!
If you want to know what I think, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't think Mr. LeBlanc is lying to us.
I suppose she's right. He doesn't seem to be lying. But then, what does it mean? What about this contradiction? Mr. LeBlanc, please, just once more. Will you recall the details of what you witnessed for me? Rebuttal Part 2.
I was very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat. I was always checking the time over and over again. I happened to follow that man with my eyes when he passed by me. And I saw clearly into the elevator he was entering. But I swear there was no one else inside. No one!
Mr. LeBlanc, if you would please calm down.
What? Dare you to have an issue with my eyewitness testimony?
No, not at all. Please, forget I said anything.
Yet again, he doesn't appear to be lying. But I can't let this testimony stand as the truth.
I was very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat.
So you are still upset now?
I'm always upset. The only time I was not is when I have a piece of my art in my hands.
That's surprisingly easy to believe that about him.
But I was even more upset when Mr. Hicks walked by me. He was always checking the time. I was always checking the time over and over again.
Why were you so attentive to the time?
Because something unforgivable was happening.
Come to think of it, you were yelling about something unforgettable earlier.
I was given a complaint to the attendant about the movie's starting time. Return back my time in money. You understand the point?
Movie? Is he talking about the in-flight one that's mentioned in the magazine? A summary of the plot and the starting time. Interesting.
That we're supposed to show license to love it, laugh, aim, and murder. I cannot see that movie in my country. You can only see it in the international flights. I looked forward greatly to that movie. I checked my pocket watch whenever possible so I would not miss it. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came aboard. So my watch is not wrong. It matched the schedule. But the movie was still late. Very, very late.
Your pocket watch. I'd like to ask you a little more about it, if that's alright.
The movie I wanted to see would not start, so I checked my pocket watch many times. My watch is set to my destination's time. I always set it when I board the plane.
Oh, really?
Objection!
Mr. LeBlanc, you said this just now in your testimony.
I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came aboard.
Now, if your watch has been set to your destination's time zone, it would mean that your watch is displaying the time of our destination.
Yes, and the correct time is worth... It's 6 cents.
I would like you to take a look at this. If you believe the Sky magazine, clocks on this flight run in according with the time of our departure time zone. Of course, the movie's schedule was also created with that in mind. Miss Tenero, for confirmation's sake, what time zone is this flight aligned to right now? Well, we made a short stop at the transfer point. That's right. It was in that small Asian country, the Republic of Zhengfa. But we didn't readjust our onboard clocks at that time. So right now we are still running on Borginian time.
What?
The time difference between Borginia and our destination is 9 hours. In that case, it's only natural that your watch would be out of sync with the schedule.
What?
Further, with your alarm watch set to our destination's time, it would appear to be running 3 hours fast when compared to the flight's onboard clocks. It also changes everything about your testimony. And you can bet 1,000,000 cents on that. In light of this information, it means you saw Mr. Hicks 3 hours prior at 3 a.m.
My 1,000,000 cents!
This should clear up the remaining accusations. So this basically widens the time frame of the time of the death, right? Yes, because Mr. LeBlanc saw him enter the elevator at 3 a.m. It means that the time of death could be anywhere from 3 to 6:15 a.m. The question now is, where was Mr. Hicks during that time span, and what was he doing?
I've got something to say.
And you are?
Yeah, I'm Cammy Neal. I'm a flight attendant.
And what is it you wish to say?
Well, I think your story is a little different from how I remember it.
What do you mean, Cammy?
I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know?
What? How can you be so sure of the time?
Oh, that's right. He pushed his call button while we were parked in the transfer point.
The stop where we made for refueling and cargo transfer in Zhongfa, correct?
Yes, it was from 4 to 5 a.m. according to our clocks.
And during that time, did any of the passengers leave or did any new ones board the flight?
No. Not a single person got off or on in Zhongfa.
What about the flight crew?
The few who were handling the cargo transfer might have temporarily gotten on or off. But eventually, everyone, including Cammy and myself, came back on the plane.
So basically, I can assume that no one left or got on since our initial takeoff. Interesting. I should keep that in mind. Oops, I didn't read that.
I can tell you, Mr. Akabe Hicks, was there in his seat when we took off again at 5 a.m.
Alright, then that puts the time of the murder between 5 and 6:15 a.m.
Okay, now, what time did you come down to the lounge, Mr. Edgeworth?
I remember coming down here almost as soon as we left the Republic of Zhongfa.
You were here the whole time from 5, yes? Then you are the only one who couldn't be the killer.
Mr. Edgeworth? Were you really here in this lounge the entire time from 5 onwards?
Unfortunately, yes.
But then, how do you explain the footprints?
Is it not obvious? This man waited for Mr. Hicks here in the lounge waited to kill him. And then he put the corpse into the elevator. That's when the turbulence happened. My eyewitness testimony may have been mistaken. But what time I saw Mr. Higgs enter the elevator on the second floor does not matter. Because the entire incident concluded here in the lounge.
Everything happened in this lounge? Is that what you really believe, Mr. LeBlanc?
Well, do you have another idea?
I simply feel there is something out of place in the scenario you presented. Is there something that can tie this crime to the location other than the lounge? Let's see. I can think of one.
Take that!
The murder weapon. This little piggy bank is sold in the in-flight shop. It is sold there and only there, and is not displayed here in the lounge. And then, how then? Did it find its way here? Don't you find that a bit suspicious?
Such a trivial point. It only makes you prepared it. It only means you prepared it, taking it from the shop first before coming here. It doesn't prove you are innocent at all.
Is there no way to win with this man?
If I may,
What is it?
you see, well, it's just as Mr. Edgeworth says.
Oh, and why do you know this so well?
Well, it's just that piggy bank was there in the shop. I saw it with my own eyes.
And when was this?
It was maybe around 5:40 a.m.
Isn't that just before we hit that patch of turbulence?
That's right.
You were in the shop just before the turbulence?
Yes, I was.
Come to think of it, Miss Tenero, when he found the body, I believe you came out of that door.
Yes, I did.
And what is beyond that door?
That's the flight attendant's room.
Then you were on the first floor.
Yes. I had to do something at the shop and in the flight's attendant's room. So I went to the shop first and then to the flight attendant's room.
Are you saying you passed by me at some point?
Yes, you seemed really into the issue of the Sky magazine you were reading at the time. I don't suppose you noticed me walking by.
I vaguely recall someone walking by, but if I didn't take notice of who it was...
Anyway, the piggy bank was definitely there in the shop when I went there.
Why did you go to the shop in the first place?
I went there for a work-related matter.
Work, you say?
Yes. Yes, to upkeep the shop is also one of my responsibilities.
Why did you not say anything about that until now, is what I want to know.
In any case, I can't believe it's clear that the shop needs to be investigated as well. Shall we head over there then?
Shall we head over there then?
What is it now?
Aren't you forgetting something, Miss Rioa? Don't you need the captain's permission to check the shop? No, I haven't forgotten. But I already asked him for permission to search the entire plane. So, I think we're alright. Huh? That's weird.
What is?
Well, I just talked to the captain, see? And he said that he didn't give you permission to do anything like that at all.
What is the meaning of this, Miss Tenero?
It means she's lying. Go on, admit that you are. You said you had permission to search all over, but you don't. And yet, here you are.
You, flight attendant, what are you trying to do? Who, pull the sheep over us?
The captain's calling for you, Miss Rhoda. Oh, but don't worry. I already got permission to search the shop for the captain. See, unlike you, I do things the right way.
Miss Tenero, why would you do such a thing?
Please excuse me. Looks like I get to be in charge now. Please go back to your seat, Mr. LeBlanc. And then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you will follow me, I will be your guide from now on.
There's something about Miss Tenero that has piqued my curiosity. But right now, investigating the in-flight shop is my top priority. Alrighty then. So this is the in-flight shop. It's quite a mess in here.
You think? Guess I'll have to clean things up then.
Hold on! Hon, you can't clean up the potential crime scene.
Oh, thank goodness. I hate cleaning so much.
I mustn't rush things here. I must remain cool, calm, and collective. Because this piggy bank was left at the crime scene. There is a very good chance that the killer had paid this place a visit. Alright. The glass from this display case door is shattered all over the floor. And looks like there's nothing on display inside. Wait, actually, I think there is something. What's this? A mini captain's hat? What are these?
Well, those are our company's completely original line of suitcases. They're practically flying out the door. That's how popular they are. You should buy one and see how you like it. You won't regret it.
Perhaps that's how things work on this flight, but in the real world, you try, then you buy.
No way. But either way, it doesn't really matter.
True, either way, why would anyone buy a suitcase after they've boarded the plane?
Anyway, see that? Just look at all the Mr. iFly heads painted on there. Cute company mascot, isn't he? They're painted on with a lot of care. Doesn't he look like he's about to jump out at you?
It's completely making something jump inside my stomach.
Oh, I guess there's no fooling your fine taste. You look like you really wanted to get one. And I thought I was going to finally make my first sale. But you saw right through it. Glad that's done, though. Never make me try to give you a sales pitch ever again, okay?
But I never showed any interest in it to begin with.
It really is pretty horrible, isn't it? You want to know something? This suitcase is designed by Miss Riola.
Miss Tenero designed these?
Yeah, it was a company-wide contest.
Well, it does have a very sharp design sense.
Sharp. Like sticky sharp cheddar, maybe. I really have no idea why the bigwigs decided to go with it. It's so blah.
Miss Tenero designed this, did she? It's definitely not what I would have expected. Ah!
You okay?
I'm fine. Please, watch yourself, Miss Meal. Letting a suitcase really roll around has got to be a safety violation.
Okay.
Here, I'll put it back.
Alright, logic time.
Let's see. The hat probably used to be on the piggy bank's head. Let's give it a go and see.
I believe this piggy bank was forcibly removed from this display case. It does mean that the killer broke the glass to... Does this mean that the killer broke the glass to get at it?
Really?
Don't tell me you don't know what things go where her in this shop?
Well, I don't. Miss Rhoda who's in charge of this place. So come on, how should I know anything?
I sense that future inspection of this display case indeed is needed.
Those can wait. Let's see if I can look inside this case if I can. Okay.
There's definitely something very unusual about this.
About what?
If the killer had broken the glass to get to the Mr. iFly bank, there should be shards of the glass inside the case itself.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess it'd be like that.
However, there is not a single piece of glass inside the display case.
Nope. No, there isn't.
Which means that the glass was broken from the inside out. The piggy bank must have fallen over from the turbulence and right through the glass.
Yeah, that's for sure. There's so much glass all over the floor.
I'm willing to bet that this hat was knocked off its head at that time too.
Eh? That's nice.
Which leads me to believe that the killer took the Mr. Eyefly from here after the turbulence. Take your power nap on your own time, Miss Meal, and listen to what I'm talking!
Whoa!
But the murder occurred before the turbulence, which rules this piggy bank out of the murder weapon.
So you mean the bank's not the real murder weapon? It's a fake?
Yes, at this point, that is the very real possibility.
But then what if the killer went to take Mr. Eyefly? They broke the glass by accident?
The display case is locked, so that's highly unlikely.
Yeah, but there's one person who could have.
Oh, and who would that be?
Miss Rhoda, of course. I mean, she's the one in charge of this place, so she has the keys to everything.
Miss Roa Tenero, huh? Okay. I think I need to examine those suitcases again. Suitcases designed by Miss Tenero. That's one sharp design. How do I examine them?
I don't know much about this shop, but you can still ask me about whatever.
Maybe logic. Suitcase and turbulence. Yes, there is definitely something wrong here.
What? What's with the sudden yelling?
Tell me, Miss Meal, don't you think there's something strange about these suitcases?
Oh, well, sure. They're totally strange. Like the color and the such.
That's not what I'm talking about. Now pay attention!
You're scaring me, Mr. Edgeworth.
Sorry. Ahem. These suitcases are lined up to a bit too prim and proper.
Yeah, they look a bit uptight, don't they? But I guess they take after their creator.
Again, that's not what I meant, Miss Meal. Don't you find it unusual that these cases are the only things undisturbed by the turbulence? Never mind, I'd sooner find an answer by inspecting these suitcases myself. Upon closer inspection, they really are quite hideous.
I wonder how Miss Rhoda would have reacted if she heard what you just said. What's wrong?
She makes a good point. It would be wise of me to watch what I say out loud. What's this?
I've spotted something that's not quite right.
Take that!
There's something very peculiar about these wheels.
Huh? As in...
As in, there are no stoppers in place of these. Without stoppers, one would think that the turbulence would have sent them flying.
And?
And so it is very likely that the suitcase was placed here after we hit that turbulence. Let's take a closer look at it, shall we? Let's see. This was apparently designed by Miss Tenero herself. The design of this creation, je ne sais quoi about it. Yes, perhaps that is the best way to put it. Oh, I'm getting the same dialogue. Okay. Examine the purple wheel. This wheel. What's this? The wheel is completely covered in something. This color, this scent. It appears the substance in question is grape juice. But why would there be grape juice on the wheel of this suitcase? Okay. Where's the lock? It would appear to be unlocked. Let's take a look what's inside. A piece of cloth? And it's soaked with blood?
Ah, it's blood.
It appears that this suitcase is very strongly tied to our murder after all.
So explain this to me. What does this suitcase have to do with the murder?
I believe it's pretty safe to say that the killer used this suitcase in some manner. Such as to move something, perhaps?
Eh? But aren't you just talking about the cloth then?
That alone is too small. Well, the larger item would be needed. A larger item would be needed to move what I'm talking about. The thing I believe the killer used this suitcase to transport is... Well, what do you think it is?
Take that!
Something that would fit inside a suitcase that is also covered in blood. Sounds like a dead body, doesn't it?
But...
In light of this, I'd say that Mr. Hicks was moved into the elevator from someplace else. Which means that the murder was committed in an entirely different location.
So you're saying that after moving the body into the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase in here and just left it?
What is it?
Nothing. Just that. I was thinking about what Miss Rhoda said about coming here for something.
Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth?
I wanted to give you a bit more time, but I'm afraid I wasn't able to convince the captain. I'm very sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, but the captain feels that he has allowed you ample time. He says that he'd appreciate it if you wrap it up here and return to your seat.
I understand his sentiments. However, if I am not allowed to complete my investigation, the crime scene may become contaminated by the time we land. If I must stop, then I insist I be allowed to oversee the preservation of the two sites. Under your supervision, of course.
If that's your only condition, then I believe we can accommodate your wishes. I'm here to assist you in any way that I can, Mr. Edgeworth. Sounds like fun. Hun, we can camp out and watch over everything together.
I found proof that the real crime scene was not in the lounge. And I have enough evidence to prove myself to be innocent of any wrongdoing. And yet, regarding what Miss Meal reminded me about Miss Tenero, I can't allow my investigation to end here. The truth must come to light. And that'll be it for today's episode of Let's Replay. Hey, Ace Attorney Investigations. What happens now? Find out next time in Let's Replay. Hey, Ace Attorney Investigations. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, hit that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment if you want. Ring that bell to be notified when our next video comes out. We do new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and occasionally Saturday and Sundays. All this helps my channel to grow so you have more videos to enjoy. Until the next video, this is Saur Darkchylde, signing off. Have a good night, folks.